He do not care who it is. He will fight you. That's why one time, I had to realize I was delivering some pop over there to one of them stores back at Breeny Greens, and the guy made me mad behind the counter, and he started talking crazy. I started talking crazy. I looked at that look in his eye. I said, that's right, this is Ishmael. Okay, I see you later. And I said, this dude might pull something up behind the counter before I can even get out of here. But that's what the Lord said. But now let's go further. Go to Genesis 27. That happened for real. I was delivering some pop to one of them stores. That's why they ain't scared to even go over there, back at Breeny Green. They had stores all over there. Genesis 27. And verse 37. Now we're going to read about some more descendants of Abraham. 27, this is Jacob and Esau. Well, really, we're going to read, because we already saw Jacob had to be led away captive in all nations. And we see the proof of that to this day. But we're going to read about Esau, because, see, all these people that came from Abraham got to still be around. Just like we know Ishmael is around. We see his works. We see him around. But even this guy, Esau, got to still be around, which was Jacob's twin. He didn't disappear. He just hiding under cover now, saying he's a Jew. But now, Genesis 27 and 37. Go ahead. This is when Jacob had got the blessing that really belonged to him. Because Esau had sold it, but Esau still tried to get it anyway. Because he sold his birthright. 37. Go ahead.
And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord.
See, now, Esau got back in just after Jacob had got blessed. See, the Lord know how to fix stuff the right way. Esau's timing was just off a little bit. Soon as Jacob finished getting the blessing, Jacob left. Esau walked in and said, I'm ready for you to bless me. He said, what? Who the heck is you? And where's the one that came and brought me something to eat, and I blessed him, and guess what? He blessed. It's a done deal. So, but then he did tell Esau something so we could recognize him. He said, and Isaac answered and said to Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, talking about Jacob. Go ahead.
And all his brethren have I given to him for service. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Go ahead, 38.
And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my
Go ahead.
father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Go ahead.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
See, but now he did give Esau a blessing. And you can see this on him to this day. He said, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. That's why the one that called himself a Jew, that's why he on top of everything. Go ahead. Even though can be a small group of people running everything. Go ahead.
And of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
And by thy sword thou shalt live. Just like the Arabs over there really outnumber them. Big time in the Middle East. Especially all them different Arab countries that they all got together, they seem like they should be able to knock Edom off, right? But they ain't done it yet. And they tried to get together and knock them off in 1967, and Esau whooped them all. He whooped them all. But go ahead.
And it shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
See, he even said it's going to come to pass, you're going to have the dominion. Because when we went into captivity, that's when he got the dominion. He got it now. He broke the yoke off his neck, and he got a higher position than us for the time being. But in the end, Jacob going to win down. But now, let's look at Psalm 83. Because some people think that's too hard to believe, that Israel went into captivity, and you got Ishmael the wild man, and Esau, Jacob's twin, fighting over the land to this day. Some people think that's hard to believe. And we not nowhere to be seen. But that's what we done read so far. We read that Moses said Israel was going into slavery on slave ships. Jesus backed it up, right? He said you're going to be led away captive into all nations, right? So that's what happened. So what you see is a result of that. You see Ishmael and you see Esau over there fighting for the land to this day. But somebody said, well, when I told people this years ago, I told somebody this. I said, yeah, well, we Israel and this is the situation. They said, well, you're trying to tell me it's a conspiracy between all these people then. I said, read Psalm 83. You said, these people had to get together to do this to us. I said, read Psalm 83. And that's what we're going to do. Psalm 83 and 1. Go ahead.
Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
So you said, your enemy's doing this. Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
See, notice God's people are hidden ones, because we are hidden. We hidden so good we can't even find ourselves. We like a dog chasing his tail. You ain't going to never find it. So we are hidden ones. He said they have taken, and notice what the Bible is saying happened against God's people. This ain't just no ordinary trick. He said they have taken crafty counsel against that people. He said they have done it, right? Against your people and consulted against your hidden ones. Because we saw Jesus even said they was going to be led away captive in all nations. Well, see, when that happened, everybody took advantage of it. Go ahead, verse 4.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
See, this is what the people that got together and said. Let us cut them off from being a nation. And Israel is no more a nation. We don't even know nothing about nationhood. We don't have a clue. And they don't even talk about Israel, period, too much now. They really talk about Jew. Jew. Because they done got rid of Israel. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
Oh, they consulted together with one consent, he said. He said these people that got together with one consent against God's people. And he said it is a confederacy against you. That's a conspiracy. That's a group that they band together for the same cause. He said they are confederate against thee. Verse 6, who are these people that's against his hidden ones, that's confederate against the Lord? Go ahead.
The tabernacles of Edom.
See, that's Esau, the one that wanted to get the blessing, but he didn't get it. And who else?
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites, the wild man. See, they started off agreeing. That's why they got in the position they in to this day. They started off agreeing, but now, and they still trying to make agreements to this day, aren't they? But they can't keep the agreement because everybody get greedy. Everybody want more. So they can't even keep the agreement, but there was some type of confederacy with them because it said the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites. Go ahead.
They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes.
See, he named people that's confederate. But what was their goal? Skip down to verse 10. It's not on the sheet, but what was their goal? What were they trying to do? Verse 12. Go ahead.
Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
See, that's what their goal was, to get the land. And that's what they've done. And to this day, these two individuals are fighting over the land that belonged to Israel who gone into captivity. But you can see that. But now go to Daniel the 7th chapter. Because we're going to get into something else. But we saw Israel went into slavery. We saw what the Lord said about Ishmael and what he said about Esau. Okay, Daniel 7, we're going to pick it up at verse 2, because now we're going to wind it down. Daniel 7 and verse 2. Okay, go ahead.
Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove up upon the great sea. And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
Okay, now Daniel, he had a vision, and he said he saw four great beasts come up from the sea. We're not going to get into the beasts individually. We're just going to see what the whole meaning of this vision is. Verse 17. Go ahead.
These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth.
See, now you should be getting the idea that God knows what he's talking about when he said, I call the end from the beginning. He told you everything. He told even Hezekiah before it happened that, look, you ain't got to worry about